Hi guys, I'm Shelley and welcome to wrap up and review number 4, I think, of this year. I'm going to get so confused with these numbers sooner or later. The first book I have to show you is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch, Albom. I got this for my birthday. I got it on audiobook and in paperback, so it's really cool to kind of read along and listen at the same time. This is the story of Eddie, who on his 83rd birthday is, well, there's not really a spoiler, he's killed in an accident. He awakens in the afterlife where he learns that heaven is not a lush Garden of Eden, but a place where your earthly life is explained to you by 5 people who were in it. These people may have been loved ones or distant strangers, yet each of them changed your path forever. Eddie meets 5 people along his way to, I suppose it's kind of purgatory, along his way to kind of happy ever after? I don't know. Some of them he knows, some of them are kind of strangers, but not. He sort of recognises them and goes, I met you once, why are you one of my 5 people? Turns out that it's a bit like the butterfly effect, and these people have been greatly affected by Eddie, or they have greatly affected Eddie's life by kind of a space of 1 or 2 people. I found this book extremely charming and beautiful. There is one chapter where you find out that Eddie is an ex-veteran and he was in a Japanese prisoner of war camp, and suddenly you have all this violence and it's just like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. But it turns out it's kind of integral to the book and the characters. This book is on so many top 100 books you should read before you die. It's also on the Rory Gilmore reading challenge list, which was why I read it in the first place, and I highly recommend it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And talking of the Rory Gilmore reading challenge, the next thing I read, or rather listened to on Audible, was The Secret Life of Bees by, oh Christ, who's it by? By Sue Monk Kidd. This is the story of Lily Owens, who is 14 years old, and she's growing up in the mid-1960s in Georgia. Her father is, well, he's not very nice, and her mother has been killed or murdered in some kind of random unexplained accident. It's all kind of mysterious, we don't know how, so she is disconnected from her mother, abusive father, 14 years old, all the hormones happening, holy crap. The only link she has to her mother is a picture of the Black Madonna that says Tiburon, South Carolina on the back of it, so her and her maid decide to run away. This picture is actually a honey jar label which leads her to August Boatwright and the 3 Boatwright sisters who live in a bright pink house and who run a honey farm. It's a coming of age story. She finds out about her mother, she finds out about life. This is all set in the background of the 1960s Human Rights Act and Black Rights to Vote, and all this other stuff is happening, and it's happening on the farm where she's staying because the 3 Boatwright sisters are black businesswomen, which is very, very rare. This story is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. The book is so like the movie. They have taken it straight from page onto screen, which I'm really glad about because after reading this book it's so deep into my heart. The language is just, it's very truthful, it's very South Carolina. I listened to this on audiobook and the woman who is narrating it is actually the woman who also narrated The Help, which is kind of really cool. But oh man, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with all these strong characters, all these strong women standing up for their rights. Yeah, it's like sub-story of depression and mental health issues because one of the sisters is dealing with some stuff. You don't really get mental health care in the 1960s in South Carolina, especially if you're black. So she's having to kind of work out how to deal with it herself and work out her own ways of coping with all the things that are going on in her head. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but I'm not sure why I didn't give it 5. Next up we have Chocolat by Joanne Harris, another one of my birthday books. I got this because I think it's another one on the Rory Gilmore reading challenge. I'm reading a lot of them this year, and also I flippin' love the movie. This is the story of Viviane, who is a chocolatier, and she moves to a small villagette in France and sets up a chocolatier shop in the middle of Lent. Oops, and this town is very, very conservative and kind of ruled by the local mayor / reverend. Okay, there is a lot of differences between the movie and the book. They're practically a completely different story. For one, Pontouf, not a kangaroo, he's a rabbit. The local Mayor Raymond is not a mayor, he's the reverend, and he is, oh my god, he is evil. He has absolutely no redeeming qualities in the book, whereas in the movie he kind of mellows, shall we say. The story is slightly the same, it's kind of the same timeline, but things get flipped on their head. The ending is just completely different to the fact that this is actually a series of books, which I will be continuing to read because oh my god, I love this book. Again, another book filled with strong independent women. Leanne does move to a conservative town, and so there are extremely conservative people running it. You have a very, very strong man, or a guy who thinks he's strong, running the local cafe, who kind of, well, there's spousal abuse going on in that relationship between him and his wife. You have a local old woman who is just, she is just how I want to be through my whole life. Stuff that she's old, I want to be her now. She's brilliant. The language of this book is gorgeous. I want to read you a passage. The children, bright plastic ducks in their waterproof boots, squawk and waddle across the square. That language runs all the way through. It's just, I've fallen in love with these characters. I've fallen in love with these women and this story, and I will be continuing it. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Different enough in the movie to keep you really, really interested. And just please read it. I love it. Next up we have Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by David Levithan and Rachel Cohn. No surprise here. I loved it because I love all David Levithan ever, because he is adorable. This is the story of Dash and Lily. She puts a notebook full of dares and questions and so on and so forth on the shelf of Dash's favourite bookshop. Dash finds it, follows them, and gets to know Lily through this book. They don't meet, they just set each other different challenges and talk to each other through this notebook and get to know each other through the writing. You know, when you write something, it's not quite your real self, it's how you want to be. That's how they're getting to know each other. There's an LGBT link in this book because Lily's brother is gay. I actually talked her into making this book and putting it on the shelf. And to be honest, this book had me at hello. Or rather, it had me at... School was shuttered, presumably so everyone could shop ad nauseum and discover that family, like arsenic, works better in small doses, unless you prefer to die. I love their writing. This is why I love their books so much. I wish I knew people who wrote like this. I wish I knew people who talked like this. I don't think I was that intelligent when I was a teenager. I was more like, like whatever, like what? These guys have existential thoughts. I do have one problem with this book, and that is Lily's grandpa. He seems to go back and forward from Florida a lot, 3 or 4 times in the space of about 3 days. How? According to Google, it takes 16 to 18 hours to drive to Florida and back again from New York. So I'm not sure how he's doing this. You live in New York or in Florida or in America. You could explain this. Is there a shortcut I'm unaware of? I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I only lost the last star because of the weird kind of time travel grandpa driving thing. Last but not least, I have one of the Once Upon a Time series, and this is Water and Song, a retelling of The Frog Prince by Suzanne Weyn. This was recommended to me by Rachel from Rachel McCall. I will leave links down for her below because she is great. As I said, this is a retelling of The Frog Prince, which I have never read, it turns out. I didn't really like this story much until I came to this retelling, which is set in Belgium in the First World War. I have Emma, who is a wealthy young woman. She is stranded in a Belgian estate between the Allied forces and the Germans. Eek! Very, very close to the front line, and in fact at one point her house becomes the front line, and she takes in an injured American soldier who she finds down the bottom of a well, and he is named Jack, and he is the Frog Prince. Oh my god, I love the story so much. Once Upon a Time magical fairy tale part was a lot more enjoyable. I don't know if I'll be reading the rest of the series because it's kind of difficult for me to get hold of because I don't think it was published in England. I had to get this through Books, but thank you so much, Rachel, for recommending it to me. I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Really, really good retelling. And that, I think, is it for now. I will shut up and have a break and possibly record some more or just go to sleep. Oh man. If you've read any of these books or you just want to talk about any of these books or anything, come talk to me in the comments. I love talking all the books. I hope you guys are good. I will hopefully do another one of these soon because I have lots of exciting books to tell you because I've read some really good ones and this was a really good list. But I hope you guys are good. I will see you guys soon. Bye. Oh, we're on 17 minutes. Bloody hell. But I've fucked up a lot, so that's okay.